When I was a corporate agent, we called the other agents EA, enemy agent. They walked into the office and you wanted to kill them.
There's an ongoing joke about replacing the missus with an AI robot, but she didn't like that one.
People say go self-employed, it's for a good work-life balance. When you run your business, you never switch off.
Our costs were around nearly £4,000 a month running an estate agency.
We pay a monthly membership of 125 plus VAT. For that, you're given the entire business in a box.
In the next 10, 15 years, there may not be hardly any high street agencies anymore. That's my opinion. How do you see it?
Most corporate agents, they sell 25% of their listings. My sale rate is about 90%. If you sell a house at £1 million at 1%, that's a £10,000 fee. The corporate agent, they would typically get about 10%. The eXp agent, we now get 70%.
So welcome back to Inside Caridon, Landlord and Property Talk. I'm Mario, the CEO and founder of Caridon. For those of you that don't know us, we are a property housing group. So we currently have a portfolio and assets under management of around 300 million. And we have a portfolio of around 2,000 properties within the M25. And we've got quite a big stronghold in the South London. We've been going for over 2 decades. Property's been in my blood. I always tell the story that I was 11 when I went to my first auction. So it's been a bit of a journey. So I guess part of the podcast today is looking at the market, how a traditional estate agency works, and because we have an element of an estate agency in our business, we have Caridon Estates. We've been looking at the business for the last year or so and looking at things like the costs of running this agency and see if there was other alternatives. We've been fortunate enough to have an amazing guest today, and we're joined by James Hughes, was recently named Agent of the Year 2025. So I want to welcome James today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on.
So just going back to the estate agency, I think we were looking at just an average cost, or monthly costs, and when we're talking about different CRMs, the advertisements, floor plans, the typical kind of right move, and all the other portals that you have running an estate agency, I think our costs were around nearly £4,000 a month, which is a lot of money. So maybe you can give us an example why the kind of typical estate agency model is breaking down.
I think it's worth noting, as you said, agency is changing and it's changing at a very quick rate. Where back in the day you had your corporate agents, or you might create your own independent agency. But as you know, by wanting to do that, there are very big costs there. If you do not have a management book, in reality, you have nothing to sell. So all these agency owners, they've got a big revenue, but normally their outgoings are just as high as their revenue. Purple bricks for their praises or sins started the self-employed awareness 7 to 10 years ago. Now you've got a lot of offerings. You've got so many self-employed offerings now. I think the consumer, the client, now does not need that corporate agent. The client now appreciates the personal independent agent. So I think the customers, how they perceive agency is changing, where they now appreciate an independent agent. So this also means that all the branch managers in the corporate agencies, they also now have another option where they can now own their business, own their data, work on their own terms, obviously kind of get all the fee that they deserve. So I think this year we're going to see this self-employed movement only continue as well. And also now we have agencies where, just like what you were about to experience, agencies are now aware they can partner with a self-employed offering to reduce their costs, make more profit. And obviously with eXp, you can build the equity and build revenue share as well and maintain your brand. So this year we're going to see in London, I think the past 2 or 3 years has been the early adoption stage. But now a lot more people are aware of the self-employed option, and it feels like it's now going to be at the mass market stage. So 2026, a lot more people, that's agents and also agencies, are going to be adopting a self-employed option. And the current agencies, when I worked at CBRE, they now offer a self-employed option for their brokers. You've got a lot of offerings as well. And also I'm talking to agencies in the area, when they understand this option, they are all, not everyone, some are a bit slower to it, but a lot are going to be adopting this self-employed brokerage role under their current agency brand. So 2026, we're only going to see it going one way.
Amazing. So for the listeners that don't know much about eXp, can you just give us a bit more background what eXp actually is?
Yeah, sure. I guess a shorter version is it is a global real estate brokerage. It gives the agents a platform to operate as an independent agent. Founded in America in 2009, then went to Canada. The UK was the third country 6 years ago. Within that time, we're now in 30 countries: Italy, Spain, India, Dubai. And they want to be in 50 countries by 2030. eXp UK, there is now 850 active agents. They will get to 10,000 eventually because everyone is now aware of it. 4 years ago, eXp UK was 140th on Rightmove. We're now number one. So eXp UK is the UK's biggest agency for Rightmove listings. This is not some American gimmick anymore. Actually, this is the UK's biggest agency, and a lot more people are aware of it. In short, it gives the agents a platform to operate as an independent agent. If you want to create your own agency, as you said, minimum 4K a month, but your costs go up. We pay a monthly membership of 125 plus VAT. For that, you're given the entire business in a box: CRM, emails, access to the portals, Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market, Yachty Sign, AML. So we have their business in a box to be able to go and be independent agents. And then on completion, eXp takes some fee on a pay-as-you-go basis. So it's allowing agents like me who didn't want to have the massive overheads each month a way to be an independent agent. And then it's amazing. Our accountants, when you understand the profit margins involved here, we normally operate at about an 80% profit margin because eXp, they take their costs prior on completion. And I can go through the splits if you want me to kind of go through the splits as well.
You can give us an example of some splits. Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Well, I guess, I mean, very kind of simple sums. If you sell a house at £1 million at 1%, that's a £10,000 fee. The corporate agent, they would typically get about 10%, £10,000. The eXp agent, we now get 70%, £7,000, and eXp, they take 30%, i.e. £3,000. They only take that on completion. And then within your year, your eXp year, once you do £80,000 of revenue, that's now sales or lettings combined, that is called capping. And then after that, the agent retains 100% of the commission until the year resets, and then it goes back to 70-30. So when you really understand the importance of the splits and the cap, they offer the best in the industry for the agents.
So obviously financially, it's a no-brainer. It makes sense why people are shifting toward a self-employment route. But how do you feel the experience for sellers and landlords? How do you think they're experiencing this? Because obviously there's a benefit for the landlords. Maybe explain how sellers benefit from this.
Prior to the self-employed option, as a corporate agent, as a branch manager, I would go out to win the listing. I would typically price high to win the listing. But then after I'd met that client, I normally then wouldn't deal with the client. The branch manager, you're dealing with a lot of instructions. You've got HR issues, you've got training, etc. And normally it's the younger people in the office doing the viewings. Don't get me wrong, we've all been young at some point in our lives, and hopefully driven and hungry. But then a lot of the times, the young people doing the viewings may not be as experienced as myself, the branch manager. And you're dealing with so many instructions. Now that I'm independent, the client deals with me from start to finish. I'm here to have honest conversations about presentation. Don't just take photos, whack it on Rightmove. If this needs to be staged, if this needs to be painted, I'm going to give you the honest advice, and then we're going to discuss the price strategy. I'm on all of the portals: Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market. I'm going to do all that I can to get a buyer to your door. The most important thing when that buyer turns up, it's me handling that buyer. An agent of 15 years, very experienced, very passionate, very knowledgeable. Mr. Client, who do you trust to handle your asset? Myself, an agent of 15 years, running my business, my brand, my reputation, or maybe a corporate agent where it's the younger guys doing the viewings. We don't get a salary. So I'm not here for market share. I don't care about market share. Most corporate agents, they sell 25% of their listings, and they see that as a success. That means that 75% goes unsold. My sale rate is about 90% because I do the right things. I give the correct advice. I then work my socks off to get it sold. And it's not just selling it, it's also getting it over the line. Down valuations, home buyer surveys, it's us fighting for your client every step of the way to make sure that I maintain my reputation, to get referrals, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. It's obvious, very obvious now when you're saying it. And I think there's a key part too that be motivated to sell, right? So if I put my property up for sale with a typical estate agent, I'm relying on that negotiator who's, in fairness, making a small part of that commission. So his get up and go or her get up and go may be very different. Where if you're making the lion's share of that commission and you have the flexibility, I'm going to have the best chance of selling the property because obviously, you're motivated to do that. You're working for yourself. So I think it's definitely a win-win. So it's amazing, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the fee, I mean, that shouldn't be the only reason why you want to get it sold. But as salespeople, that is a big factor. If that £10,000 fee comes to you 100%, you are going to work so much more than maybe a corporate agent who gets 10% of £10,000, £1,000. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, that shouldn't be the main reason. But as salespeople, that is a big factor as well, of course.
Yeah. And can you tell me, because we invest globally, once we launch in the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at property abroad as well. So we have a presence in the USA, in Italy. Trying to maybe explain to us a little bit about the EXP
Yeah.
global strategy.
So we're now in 30 countries. Our back office, we can reach out to any agent at the click of a button. If I want to reach out to my Italian partner agents, I can go onto the back office. I can reach out to any agent at the click of a button. Bearing in mind that most agents at eXp are senior people, entrepreneurs, we're here to collaborate because we also get equity in this global NASDAQ business. We are all equity partners. I want you to be successful. I want my Italian agents to be successful. So that further encourages collaboration. But most importantly, if I refer a client to a partner agent, I was down at David Lloyd the other day. I heard a guy saying he's struggling to sell his flats in Barcelona. I said, I've got a partner agent in Barcelona. I didn't know of one. I reached out to the internal chats, find a guy called David. I referred David, that client. That client has 7 apartments, and we've signed an agreement via the EXP back office that on completion, I'll get paid my agreed split. So we are
Mm,
referring an important client to a good agent like myself over there. That's obviously important for my brand and my reputation. But then now it is all signed via EXP. So the EXP accounts team on completion, they pay me and they pay him. We have another agent at another international brokerage who's scared to pass his leads to his agents over in Spain because he doesn't trust them and he doesn't trust the brokerage of where he basically works. But with EXP, there is trust and we've signed an agreement as well. So equally, I get leads back where I was passed 3 leads in Kensington from a Dubai EXP agent. They trust me. I go to all these kind of shows and conferences, and we've signed an agreement. So I now sell globally. My friend, he lives in Rio, in Brazil. He wants me to be his managing agent to oversee his apartments in Brazil. So I'm reaching out to the Brazilian agent. So EXP, you can obviously sell where you live, but if you think bigger and globally, and that's obviously one of the attractions of Caridon, like you're not just UK, you have all of these international connections that you can now utilize the EXP framework to reach out to the correct agents and to the correct partners to service any clients around the world where
mm.
EXP is.
So in essence, you've got a wider reach, which you would never have as a working in an estate agency. You've got the platform, you've got a wider reach, and I think the approach is a more of a collaborative approach. Typical estate agents that were competing with each other. This is a collaboration, hence why people across the world want to work with you to sell their property. I think that's the key.
Yeah,
Take key points that I've taken out.
yeah, and that's in London, that's in the UK. I can now refer clients to my partner agents within London, within the UK, and also internationally. Any referral that I is given to me is obviously my brand and my reputation on the line. So I want to find a good partner agent. You can do some research into them.
Mm.
You can stay involved in the conversation if you want to, and then on completion, we get paid via EXP. So it's all done via the amazing ecosystem that we have. And then obviously for yourself, Mario, I mean, I've known of you by living in the kind of same area.
Yeah.
And I obviously reached out to you. I guess, can you explain what excited you in partnering with EXP? And then I guess we'll kind of come on to when you're going to go launch and when you're going to go live as well.
Well, it's crazy, but I was marketing a property of my own through an estate agent who used to work for Hamptons. And it turned out he moved to EXP and he was with the estate agency for many, many years, I think 20 years. And so I had physical evidence of someone that I've known for a long time that was marketing a property of mine. And he told me he's moved from the agency to EXP. And I think he won an award because he was one of your highest sales guys. So, so that was first kind of point where I thought, Jesus, that definitely works. And for me personally, I guess it was a part of the business that I felt that we get a lot of opportunities. So although we buy a lot ourselves, so we own almost 2,000 properties. However, a lot of the stock that comes to me is not always suitable because we are on social housing and the areas too. But I work with thousands of developers that say, can you sell my property? Can you sell? And of course, we didn't have that platform. So I think the first point was one, we'll have that outlet, that portal to allow us to do that. And it was cost effective. Firstly. Secondly, I could create a team, which you can maybe explain after a bit about creating team under. So I have a lot of young guys that I mentor. We had two in the office the other day, want to get into property. So they're going to come to work for us for the next year. So we're building quite a large procurement part of the business, sales part of the business. But we need a platform to do this when developers come to me and so on. So I think the key thing is the contact base that I have, whether it's the landlords, whether it's mortgage brokers, the whole network, someone knows someone that wants to sell a property. And generally, I haven't been doing that because I've been buying properties and selling properties, which are a bit more of a niche market.
Mhm.
So I think EXP allowed me to do that. And of course, being in Italy, being in Dubai and in America, it's even better now because it's a platform which I wouldn't be able to have any other platform that would allow me to do that, I guess.
Yeah. I guess you made some valid points there where EXP is the platform for you to build whatever you want to do. I'm in this 24/7. I'm a typical agent, but also building equity and revenue share. Obviously, Caridon does your own thing anyway. But then, as you said, you have all of these clients that come to you that you haven't been able to service because you're not on the portals. Those clients, they know, like, and trust you. They want to use you, but you're not able to do it. So you can obviously kind of keep the main Caridon operations going, the social housing, the buying, investing, developing. But now you're set up to operate as an agent to service those clients. So you can now retain those clients within Caridon as opposed to passing them elsewhere. And that get very exciting. You mentioned a team where EXP about 4 years ago that allowed agents like myself who had proven myself to EXP to now create my agency. So I'm now not just an independent agent. I have my agency powered by EXP. And as of last year, within the 850 UK agents, there's probably about 50 like myself who have a team slash agency. Last year, they allowed full on agencies to join EXP. Agencies kick
Okay.
short, reduce your operational costs, make profit, build equity, build revenue share, and maintain your brand. You just put EXP
Mm.
underneath it. So there was about 15 agencies that have joined last year. This year, we're going to see a lot more agencies joining when people like yourself announce this, because all these other agencies will start saying, hold on, what's going on over there? So we had this conversation. I strongly urge anyone who knows you to reach out to you to understand why you've done this. Your costs will only keep increasing. With EXP, that we are all self-employed agents. So you can build whatever you want to do. You can build your team, you can build your agency, you can build a global revenue share group, technically leverage and agents and mentoring within your little kind of group there as well. So you've got so many options of how you want to build this, but the beauty about it is that it builds organically. I didn't want to have a team when I started, but then I thought, great, I can build that. I've now got my name on Rightmove. So it gives the platform for you to kind of build whatever you want to.
And it's funny because people have said to me, "Oh, why did you join the XP? Because you're successful, you've got thousands of properties." But I see this as a massive advantage to grow the business even further because we've got ambition just to grow the portfolio. So I feel it's massive for us, and hopefully aiming to launch EXP in January. So part of that our marketing strategy will be reaching out to all our landlords, the developers, and so on. And I think it's good timing because where we can potentially have a niche, so to speak, is we guarantee rents. As a company, we've guaranteed almost £500 million of rents over the last 15 years. So how does this tie into EXP? I think, especially now more than ever, the market's strange. And for investors that want to buy and they're worried about the renters' rights, the changes there, are they going to have that security? Are they going to be worried about the evictions, the rents, and so on? That's what we do. So I think any properties that we sell, we can sell as an investment. We can tie in the income part. So I think that's a big USP for us in entering the market of EXP, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Like you've got Caridon and yourself have such a strong reputation. The moment you start telling your clients that you can also now sell or rent their homes, you're just going to get so many more clients. Oh, great, we can finally use you. As it's about adding this on additionally to what Caridon is already doing. It's not taking anything away. It's purely complementing. It's adding on additional services for your clients that in turn add on
Mm.
additional revenue streams for you, and then allows you to grow and scale very quickly. We've got an agency who are joining. Their revenue is 400K. Amazing. Well done. Their outgoings are 401K. He was like, when can I join eXp, please? Yes, you could very easily do this yourself. You could do, but then it doesn't make any financial sense to go on and do it, given that's the way that the, I guess, self-employed movement is going anyway.
Okay, and then if someone wants to join EXP under what would be the route? Would they join under myself? Just so the viewers understand,
Yes.
because
So technically, an agent has to be introduced to eXp by somebody. They are called your direct partner, your sponsor. And obviously, you've joined in our group. We have an amazing group. We now have 135 agents within eXp. That is more than 15% of eXp UK. We have the fastest growing group within eXp because we provide a genuine community, the support, the resources, the community. We are building top producing agents. We can do that because I've been at EXP for 4 years. We now know exactly what to do. We have the process, follow the process in this amazing collaborative community. So they're going to get myself and obviously yourself, Mary, one of the most experienced real estate people ever. We're not managers, but we're here to mentor, we're here to lead, we're here to collaborate, we're here to help our agents be successful. So in partnering with you, they'll obviously learn so much. And in partnering with you, as you mentioned, you are so well connected, i.e., access to developments, access to stock, access to leads. Most agents who want to go self-employed, they question where their leads are going to come from. If I'm going to come and join your team, Alex, I know that you've got developments left, right, and centre that you need to be selling around the world. You need to staff quickly.
for sure, for sure. So, okay, thank you. So on the branding side, 'cause we were talking about marketing, and maybe you can give us some advice as well because we're launching soon, and we're looking at things like boards and stuff like that. Do they matter?
When you really understand eXp, there are other offerings there, but then they are building their brokerage name. eXp is the most agent-centric model. I'm James Hughes, eXp. I'm building my name. If I ever leave eXp, not that I ever will, people think that I've got my own agency. So I'm building my name. It's just James Hughes EXP. So we have a website, James Hughes EXP. Over time, you might have Caridon EXP as your agency grows. The boards, obviously, when I started 4 years ago, I was like, do I put my face on the board or not? It's a very American thing. This is an American brokerage. I think part of me is American. I love whooping and celebrating success. But then if you put your face on the board, people see it, people recognize it. You don't have to. It's obviously your name, EXP. You can put your face on there. I mean, boards work. One, you get leads from it. Two, I live in South Croydon, down on Normanton Road. I was selling 3 listings there. Clients saw my face 3 times on the way to their station. I apologize for that. A very horrible way to start your Monday morning. But then I then get calls from clients. I see you. What's this EXP? I see that you're selling. So it's brand awareness that leads into social media, networking, brand referrals, getting your name out there. It's the more present you can be, you're naturally going to get leads, and then your business builds from there.
So I guess, I mean, having it as your own brand, your name, that reputational risk is there. So you got to make sure that you build the trust with people and the reputation and that kind of personal brand, right? Over the typical office-based agency.
Yeah, yeah. When I worked at Foxtons when I was young, admittedly I was quite transactional, keen to get the deal done. When I went to CBRE, I was more aware of my brand and my reputation. I guess that's called growing up and maturing, even though I'm struggling to do that. But like now that I'm with EXP, because it's my brand, this means so much to me. The Google reviews, we are in a service industry, the touch points, like it just means, yes, I want to get paid, but we're also dealing with people's lives as well, helping them move on to the next chapter. And that for me is so important. So your
Mm.
brand is so important, not just with your clients, but also within the industry. If you do anything short-sighted with your peers, if I do anything short-sighted with you, Mario, you're not going to give me any referrals or we're not going to collaborate. So you have to be so aware of your brand. And that comes into social media, marketing, and awareness. How do you brand yourself? We are all online these days, and you don't have to on social media. You can run your business however you want to, but a third of my leads, they come from social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And it's about you. Like don't change who you are. Don't try and be who you're not. It's about you being you, and then people hopefully then buying to you being a personal independent agent.
And for the estate agents that are out there now listening in, worried about the future, and which we can talk about in a second, what's your approach to estate agents? Because you can go to the typical estate agent. How do you approach them in terms of, they may not want to do split fees and things like that? What is the approach? Because there should be an advantage to help them sell the property, but what is the
Yeah, so
approach?
when I was a corporate agent, we called the other agents EA, enemy agent. They walked into the office and you wanted to kill them, like because you wanted to keep the client for yourself. Now it's all about collaborating. Don't get me wrong, it helps that we get the fee, the entire fee, so we have enough to share out. I understand why those corporate agents didn't want to collaborate because they were getting such a small part of the pie. Therefore, their client is not receiving the best service. I have a listing within eXp. I promote my listing within our community, within our group. I welcome other agents to bring their buyers to my door. I will very happily offer you a split as well. As long as my client gets sold, I will very happily offer a split with you. And that's also with other independent agents. I think people's mindset is changing where people are more open to collaborating. This is about working together 50-50, 75-25. What do we need to do to get our client's place sold? So I welcome collaboration. Not everyone does, but I think it is changing a lot more going forward.
So where do you see this change in terms of there's been the likes of Purple Bricks and online platforms for selling properties? How do you see the future? Because in my opinion would be, I think that maybe in the next 10, 15 years, there may not be hardly any high street agencies anymore. That's my opinion. How do you see it?
Well, yeah, so we're now EP UK has 850 agents. It's the fastest growing real estate brokerage. They will get to 10,000 eventually. People are just aware of it. There's so much noise on social media. People are talking, people are doing amazing jobs. When I started 4 years ago, the caliber of the agents, we're not talking about young kids, we're talking about branch manager, director level, 20 years, 15 years experience coming over to EXP. This is only going one way. And obviously agents are now aware there is this other option as well. I met an agent yesterday and I asked him what his goals are. He's a corporate agent. He had the most amazing goals to help his family, financially help them, spend more time with them. And I said, in your current role, how close are you to hitting those goals? He's like, I will never do it. As a corporate agent, I'm earning this amount of money no matter what I do. I will never hit my goals. I said, I've showed him my figures of what the guys from EXP are doing. He will be able to hit those goals by partnering with EXP, and we'll do all that we can to support him. So a lot more people are aware that there are these other options now.
Okay, okay. And just the market at the moment, I mean, obviously it's a strange market at the moment. The sentiment is a little bit negative, I would say, after the budget and so on. How do you feel? Maybe give us a little snapshot of the market.
We've experienced about 20 markets in the last 2 years. I've lost track of what's gone on. COVID, interest rates, world wars, who knows? I've lost track. It's a hard market. The budget didn't help. Then we had Christmas. So there was a pause there. But this is the market for the independent agents to roll their sleeves up, to give honest advice. People are still moving. We had a baby, we sold our flat, we needed a house. People are getting on with their lives, but you just have to have honest conversations about presentation, about pricing, what I'm going to do differently. I'm going to work my socks off. I'm going to reach out to that agent. I'm going to speak to my network. People are still moving. And if anything, this is the market for the independent agents to shine, because we have to roll our sleeves up and get stuck in. But the start of the year, I mean, there's no pause anymore. People have to get on with their lives. So as long as things are presented and priced correctly, people are inquiring. I've had a good start to the year by pricing things correctly. This is not the market to price high. Don't price high. There's no point. Price things correctly. Explain to your clients the strategy. What is the strategy to get this place sold? If you price things correctly, yeah, people are very much looking. I can't think of any immediate hurdles coming up this year, but who knows with the politics and
Yeah.
plus this year.
I think apart from we spoke about a little bit about the renters reform,
Yeah.
renters right bill. And I had a landlord on the phone today, a Jewish landlord, had the portfolio for 30 years. He's selling up, believe it or not. And he said, look, I want to start selling my properties. And the thing is, he's being realistic with his prices because he knows the market's not great, but he's scared because of this. So I think, like anything, wherever there's uncertainty, there's opportunity. Yeah. And so I think there's a lot of stocks going to come to the market, and hopefully people are going to be more realistic, which could be a benefit for obviously XP and agents that are trying to sell this kind of stuff.
There is a massive opportunity if you are a good lettings agent. I'm a sales and a lettings agent, top agent at Foxtons, top letting agent at CBRE. There is a massive opportunity because you have to be advising your clients correctly. Agents, we are also questioning what's going on. It's been hard to kind of keep on track, landlords especially. So there's a big opportunity if you are a good lettings agent. There are a lot of landlords who are selling. I'm a landlord. They were all under my personal names. Doesn't make any sense to hold it anymore. So there is opportunity there. And there's a massive opportunity if you provide a fantastic service as Caridon does, as a lettings, doing management, guaranteeing the rent. Clients are going to come to you because they're also concerned that their current agent is not up to speed with the changes and the legislation coming in as well.
And who would you say should consider EXP and shouldn't?
Oh, look, it's not for everyone. There are some agents who want to turn up and sit behind their desk and be comfortable, and they are okay with a comfortable, okay life. But that won't change your life. We only live once. We literally are on this planet once. Give it a go. Reach out to people like myself, like you, Mario. Find out why you've done it. I'm a very honest guy. I've got 4 years. I'll show you the struggles, the concerns. I'll show you numbers. Go and reach out to someone. At least do your favor. Have a conversation with somebody about why they are with eXp and what sort of numbers are achievable. If it doesn't work out, you can go back and get the same job as what you left it. But I assure you, if you work hard, follow the process, of which we know, we have all of the resources, we have all of the tools, we know the process, we know exactly what works to make our agents successful. And obviously, in partnering with you, Mario, they're going to have access to all of the developments around South London, guaranteed leads and guaranteed listings from day one too. You need to build your group quickly, given the stock that you have.
Telling you. We haven't mentioned that you work 8 days a week.
9, I think. Look, people say go self-employed. It's for a good work-life balance. When you run your business, you never switch off. But I absolutely love doing what I do. I love doing what I do. I love dealing with people. Now that I'm 4 years in, it's how do you scale? We've got systems, we've got leverage in place. We're putting events on. We're doing international travel. That excites me. It's slightly frustrating for my wife. She sees me just thinking about it constantly. But it just gets so exciting. So you have to be prepared to work, but equally, it is your business. You can work on entirely your terms. I choose to work very hard. That's in my nature. If you want to do one deal a month and travel the world, happy days. This is entirely your business for you to do as much or as little as you want to do. EXP, our CEO, Leah Pareja, awesome guy. He's very proud in saying EXP is a platform for you to build whatever dream you want. And that is very true. You can do one deal a month. You can do 10 deals a month. You can do sales, lettings. You can sell internationally. You can sell developments. You can build global revenue share groups. You can travel the world. It just gets more and more exciting the more that you learn about it.
Yeah, definitely. The work-life balance is there, and I think that's especially after COVID. A lot of people reflected on life, and I think there must have been a big uptake on AXP after COVID, where people were working from home and what have you. So no, I'm behind you, and obviously you've joined the XP for the same reason, a bit more flexibility, and scalability. I think for us is what was key. Very interesting.
Given your reputation and your international reach, obviously I'm 4 years in, I can see EXP. I'm still learning about it, but when you really get your head under it and when you see the potential, you're like, wow, I can do that, I can do that. And then it just gets even more exciting.
Yeah, I know we haven't even scratched the surface, and I know that we're going to do a big launch, and I'm really, really positive of how it's going to go. So we haven't really spoken about my favorite word, AI. And there's an ongoing joke about replacing the missus with an AI robot, but she didn't like that one. I don't know if you've seen the Tesla robot. So jokes aside, we spend a lot of time at the moment with working on solutions for AI in our business. How do you see that working out with EXP?
Luckily for us, our founder and our leaders, they are tech. They are tech billionaires. Like a few years ago, it was social media. You have to be on social media. Now it's AI. The agents, I hope, we're not going to be replaced by AI, but we will be replaced by agents who are amazing at AI. So it's all about the touch points, the speed to reply to clients. Like we have to be upskilling very quickly. Luckily, eXp is leading the way with what they are building. They want to give the agents the most amazing tech, the most amazing systems to make sure that we can maintain being top producing agents. But I'm having to upskill pretty quickly. Yeah, it's scary, but then also blooming exciting if you can get your head around it to allow you to provide an even better service for your clients as well.
So tell me, James, for the viewers out there that want to contact you, what would be the best way to follow you on social media, or you tell me?
Yeah, so I'm quite big on Instagram, James Hughes Property, and then our group within eXp is called the Real Estate. If you Google me, James Hughes, powered by eXp, yeah, very active on social media.
And we might see your face on the board otherwise.
Yes, yeah.
So if you're interested in learning a bit more about EXP, or you want to follow me on LinkedIn, or go to our Caridon website, if you want to know a bit more about what we do as a business, if you need help for guaranteed rents, or any help at all on property, we've got someone that can help you. But please make sure that you follow us on Inside Caridon on your Apple Podcast, Spotify, or YouTube, wherever you are. And thanks again, James, for your time today.
Absolute pleasure. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you launch of eXp. Very exciting year ahead for you.
Thank you.